Welcome to the Deep Dive. Ready to explore the swirling ocean of AI news?
Absolutely.
Today we're dissecting the AI Daily News Digest from January 11th, 2025.
It's a fire hose of information, covering everything from model breakthroughs.
To ethical debates and even some tech industry gossip.
Think of it like having a super-powered AI assistant.
Summarize hundreds of sources, saving you hours of reading time.
But we're going to go deeper than just headlines.
Connecting the dots and revealing the so what behind the news.
Precisely.
Okay, first up is Moondream 2B.
This new AI model is making waves.
It's not just about understanding text and images.
This one can detect gaze in videos,
Imagine the possibilities.
but also the potential for misuse.
People on Reddit are already worried about surveillance and privacy.
One user even said,
wow.
"This is straight out of 1984. Big Brother is watching." Literally.
It definitely raises some serious
It's
questions.
about privacy and ethical boundaries.
Some users even mentioned China's social credit system.
Chilling, isn't it?
Okay, let's shift gears to something a bit more user-friendly. Transformers.js.
This is where things get really interesting.
So tell me.
Transformers.js is bringing the power of large language models, or LLMs,
LLMs.
right to your web browser.
Wow. No need for powerful servers.
It all happens locally thanks to WebGPU.
So you're telling me I could have an AI assistant
Working offline,
personalized to my needs?
without my data being sent to some tech giant.
That's incredible.
It's pretty amazing.
But are there any downsides?
Well, there's still some challenges with performance
That's
and
true.
making sure these local models deliver accurate results.
Makes sense.
It's a rapidly evolving space to watch.
Speaking of potential disruptions, let's talk about Biden's latest move.
On AI chip exports.
Yes, the Biden administration is tightening restrictions,
On Nvidia AI chip exports.
and it's causing quite a bit of controversy.
Even among U.S. allies.
One Reddit user commented,
Let me see.
"This is just going to push countries like China."
To collaborate more on AI development.
Another user said,
Oh, this one's interesting.
"I'm so confused about this tier system."
Why is Poland in a different category than India?
It's definitely a complex situation.
With a lot of geopolitical implications.
Now, for a glimpse into the future of work.
Okay, what do we have?
Microsoft's CEO is making headlines
With what?
with his prediction that every worker will soon be managing
Managing what?
a swarm of AI agents,
Hundreds of thousands of digital assistants.
buzzing around,
Handling tasks.
automating workflows.
It's a bold vision, to say the least.
I can't even imagine trying to keep up with that many AI agents.
Right.
Reddit users are understandably skeptical
They're questioning the practicality
of managing such a complex system.
and the potential impact on jobs.
Absolutely.
Okay, before we move on,
Yes.
let's touch on a blast from the recent past. Dolly.
OpenAI's image-generating sensation
Some folks are whispering that it's been left behind.
in the dust.
You think so?
Well, Imagen 3's superior performance has some questioning whether Dolly has lost its edge.
Interesting.
On Reddit, there are already heated debates
About what?
about alternative image generators like Midjourney, FluxSnell, and Mystic 2.5.
People love to compare
Users are showcasing their creations.
and arguing over which tool reigns supreme,
That's a constant evolution.
which is both exciting and a little daunting.
It makes you wonder what groundbreaking AI will emerge next.
And how will it reshape the world we know?
That's a great question, and one we'll explore further as we dive deeper into the AI Daily News Digest.
Now let's go behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, into some of the developments that are really pushing the boundaries of AI.
I'm all ears.
Well, there's been a lot of buzz about Nvidia's latest project.
NVIDIA.
Yeah, they're calling it Project Digit.
Project Digits.
They're claiming it's going to democratize AI development
Democratize AI development. How so?
by offering a $3,000 AI supercomputer.
A supercomputer for $3,000.
I know, right?
That sounds almost too good to be true.
There's a lot of skepticism on Reddit
About?
whether this is truly democratizing AI or just making deployment easier.
I see.
While the computationally intensive training remains out of reach for most.
So it's like
Rush.
giving everyone a fancy race car,
Okay,
but not the fuel to actually race it.
a perfect analogy.
Uh-huh.
There's also debate about whether Digits
Yeah.
even qualifies as a supercomputer.
Really?
Some users are comparing its specs to
Interesting.
existing GPUs
Interesting.
and questioning whether it lives up to the hype.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what NVIDIA actually delivers
We will.
But it's definitely a bold move
It is.
to try and make AI development more accessible.
Agreed.
Speaking of making AI more accessible,
Yes.
remember Unsloth AI?
The team behind the Phi4 model.
Yeah, Phi4.
They just beat Microsoft on some AI benchmark.
Didn't they?
Their latest version of Phi4
Uh-huh.
surpassed the Microsoft baseline on the Open LLM leaderboard,
Wow.
which is a significant achievement.
It is.
They've been focusing on bug fixes
Okay.
and something called lamification,
Lamification.
which essentially improves model performance and compatibility.
So they're taking a good model and making it even better.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
And what's even more impressive is they're doing this with a relatively small model.
So size isn't everything in the AI world.
Not at all.
That's good to know.
Now, shifting gears again.
Okay.
Have you heard about this new technique called speculative decoding?
Speculative decoding.
It's like DLSS, but for language models.
DLSS.
You know how DLSS uses AI to upscale images?
Yeah.
Making them look sharper?
Right.
Without requiring as much processing power?
Yeah, it's like magic.
So the speculative decoding does something similar for text.
So it reduces the computational load.
Exactly.
That sounds incredibly useful,
It is.
especially with these large language models.
Right.
They can be slow sometimes.
Especially on older devices.
Speaking of AI assistants,
Yes.
I can't help but think back to Microsoft's CEO.
And his prediction of swarms of AI agents in every office.
Yeah, is this something we should be worried about?
Or is it just hype?
It's understandable to feel apprehensive.
Yes.
Managing a swarm of AI agents sounds incredibly complex,
It does.
and the implications for jobs are uncertain.
That's true.
It's a lot to wrap our heads around.
It is.
But AI is already changing the way we work,
It is.
and these advancements are only going to accelerate that change.
What are some of the more practical ways people are using AI in their workflows today?
Well, aside from Transformers.js,
Bringing LLMs to the browser?
there's a growing trend of using AI for specific tasks.
Like,
Code generation.
interesting.
CodeDM, for example.
Oh, DDM.
It's been gaining a lot of traction.
I've heard of that.
It's an AI coding assistant that can generate entire blocks of code,
Really?
sometimes even completing entire web pages without any manual coding. Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
But I did see some reports of issues with Windsurf,
Windsurf.
CodeDM's self-hosted version.
Ah.
Something about authentication problems.
Right, and user interface frustrations.
That makes sense.
But overall, the feedback is positive.
Good.
It's seen as a potential game changer for both experienced and novice programmers.
It's incredible how AI is changing the landscape of so many professions.
Yeah.
From code generation to image creation.
The possibilities seem endless.
Before we get too carried away,
Yeah.
I'm curious about something I saw in the digest.
What's that?
It seems more research-oriented.
Okay.
StarMath.
Our StarMath.
What can you tell us about that?
Our StarMath.
This is a fascinating development.
From Microsoft researchers.
What do they do?
They've created a framework
A framework.
that enhances the math reasoning abilities
Okay.
of smaller language models.
So they're taking those efficient, smaller models and giving them a boost in the math department.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And the results are impressive.
What kind of results?
They've significantly improved the performance of models like
Wow.
Qwen 2.5 and Phi3 Mini
Oh.
on the math benchmark.
Wow. Even rivaling the accuracy of OpenAI's O1 model.
They are.
What makes StarMath so effective?
Well,
Is it just brute force calculation?
it's not just about raw computing power.
So what is it?
StarMath involves a process.
A process.
Called self-evolved deep thinking.
Self-evolved deep thinking
It trains these smaller models to approach math problems.
in a more structured and logical way.
Precisely.
Almost like human mathematicians.
Almost.
That's fascinating.
It is.
So they're not just crunching numbers.
They're learning to think mathematically.
That's incredible.
It is a significant development.
What are your main takeaways from all this?
Well, the sheer diversity and pace of advancements in AI are truly remarkable.
It is pretty amazing.
We're seeing progress on all fronts, from user-facing tools that make AI more accessible to cutting-edge research that pushes the boundaries of what's possible.
It's true. It's a truly exciting time to be following the AI revolution.
It is.
But with all this progress,
Comes responsibility.
we need to carefully consider the ethical implications
Right.
and potential societal impact.
Of these advancements.
We've still got a lot to unpack
You do.
from the AI Daily News Digest.
And we'll be diving into those ethical considerations
And more.
in our final segment.
Stay with us. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've explored some pretty mind-boggling AI advancements today,
We have.
from gaze-detecting models to AI-powered coding assistants.
That can practically build websites on their own.
It's incredible.
It is.
But amidst all this innovation, we
What?
can't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Right, the big picture.
What does it all mean for us,
For society.
for the future?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The technology is evolving at such a breakneck speed.
It is.
But our understanding of its long-term consequences is still playing catch-up.
We've touched on some ethical concerns,
Like,
the potential for misuse with gaze detection technology,
right?
and the uncertainty surrounding AI's impact on a workplace.
It's a valid concern.
But there are so many other layers to this conversation.
Absolutely. Take Transformers.js, for example.
Okay.
It's a fantastic tool for making AI more accessible,
It is.
bringing the power of LLMs to everyday devices.
But
It also begs the question of control and responsibility.
control and responsibility, okay.
Who gets to decide how these powerful models are used?
That's a good question.
How do we prevent them from being used for harmful purposes?
It's definitely something to think about.
And then there's the whole debate about AI sentience and consciousness.
AI sentience,
We're creating machines that can write text, compose music.
and even generate art.
That's indistinguishable from human creation.
It's true. It's pretty amazing.
At what point do these machines become more than just tools?
Wow, that's a question that has puzzled philosophers and scientists.
For decades.
And we're still searching for definitive answers.
But one thing is clear.
What's that?
We need to be having these conversations now,
Now.
before the technology surpasses our ability.
To understand and manage its implications.
Exactly.
It's like we're trying to catch a runaway train.
Haha, in a way.
We can't just blindly embrace every shiny new AI gadget,
Without considering the potential consequence.
both positive and negative.
Right, it's a balancing act.
But we also don't want to stifle innovation out of fear.
Exactly. It's about finding that delicate balance.
Balancing.
Harnessing the incredible potential of AI for good.
While proactively addressing the ethical challenges and risks.
This AI Daily News Digest has done a remarkable job,
It had.
showcasing both the awe-inspiring opportunities
And the complex challenges.
that come with this new AI-driven world.
It's a powerful reminder that the future of AI is not preordained.
It's known
It's being shaped right now
by the choices we make
by the conversations we have.
and the actions we take.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with this thought. What role do you want to play in shaping the future of AI?
Will you be a passive observer watching from the sidelines as this technological revolution unfolds?
Or will you be an active participant,
Engaging in the conversation
asking the tough questions?
and helping to guide AI towards a future that benefits all of humanity?
The choice is ultimately yours.
It is.
But remember, the future of AI is not something that's happening to us.
It's something we're all creating together.
That's a great way to put it.
And that's what makes this such an exhilarating
And pivotal.
time to be alive.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
The future is waiting.